So, hi everyone. For this task, we were given three PDF articles which we had to study and make a video of what key intakes we could take from it. So, let's go through it. So, the first article was by Eric Knorr and Galen Guruman. The article explains that back in 2008, cloud computing did not have a clear definition. Different people understood it in different ways. The author says that cloud computing is really about one core idea. It is a way for IT departments to increase their capacity or add new capabilities without buying new hardware, training new staff, or licensing new software. They break cloud computing into several types. First, SaaS, software as a service, where one application is delivered to many customers through a browser. Second, utility computing, where companies like Amazon offer storage and virtual services on demand. And third one is web services in the cloud, where APIs let developers use functionality without needing the full application. They also mention platform as service, managed service providers, service commerce platforms, and internet integration. My key takeaway from this article is that even in the early days, cloud computing was already a broad perspective, broad idea, with many different service types, not just one single technology. Now, moving on to the other article, which was about cloud computing concepts, architecture, and challenges. It was by Yashpal Singh Jadeja, and Kriti Modi. This article gives a more structured academic view of cloud computing. This explains the official NIST definition. Cloud computing is a model for convenient on demand services to a shared pool of resources like servers, storage, and applications. The article also describes the architecture of cloud computing in two different ways, two parts. The front end, which is the client's computer and application, and the back end, which is the actual cloud containing servers and storage. They also explain the three main service models, SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. Then they describe the deployment models: public cloud, which is shared and accessed over the internet, and private cloud, which stays inside one organization for better security. And there is also this hybrid cloud, which combines the both, and community cloud, which is shared by several organizations with similar needs. The article also lists real advantages like easier management, cost reduction, and support for disaster recovery and stuff like that, but it does not ignore the problems. The biggest issues are security and privacy because handling over confidential data to another company can feel risky for many organizations. So, key takeaway here is that cloud computing brings real benefits, but security and trust are still major challenges that need to be managed carefully. So, moving on to third article, which was about cloud computing, a perspective study, which was written by Liz Wang, Gregor von Laseski, Marshall Kunze, and Zi Tao. This article makes a more research based approach and compares cloud computing to older ideas like grid computing. The author defines a cloud as a set of network enabled services that provides scalable, reliable, and affordable computing infrastructure on demand. They break the functional aspect into layers: hardware as service, software as service, data as service, which together support infrastructure as service. They also explain what makes cloud computing different from other computing models. It has user centric interfaces, meaning people don't have to change their normal way of working. It offers on demand provisioning, guaranteed quality of service, and it is highly scalable and flexible. Finally, they list the key technologies that make cloud computing possible. This includes virtualization or orchestration of workflows, web services, and programming models like MapReduce. my key takeaway from this article is that cloud computing relies on several underlying technologies working together, and virtualization is really the foundation that makes everything else possible. So, to summarize what I learned from all the three articles, cloud computing is a broad concept with many service types. It has a clear architecture with defined services and deployment models, and it depends on key technologies like virtualization, APIs, and orchestration to actually work. Together, these three articles gave me a rounded understanding of what cloud computing is, how it is structured, and why it has become such an important part of modern IT. So that was all for today. Thank you for watching. Bye.